Good morning, everybody. And it is morning, I suppose, sun shining. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And as usual, my friends, drink it if you got it. And I need it this morning. Wow. Good. How's everybody? Good to see you. Look, nice little crowd right off the bat. Holy cow. Oh. As Rodney used to say, I was in rough shape yesterday, but I'm okay now. I think this flu I've been fighting kind of taking its toll on me in many, many ways. Many ways. And my plumber, too. I haven't seen him in a week. I finally texted him this morning. I said, "Where the hell are you?" He says, "I haven't been able to get out of bed for a week." Wow, don't I feel healthy. I got out of bed pretty much the next day. I didn't feel good, but it didn't hit me that hard. We can't win everywhere. Everybody's got this flu thing. How do you just stay away from the human race? And we're going to have to quarantine ourselves like they did, a reverse quarantine. Not to keep the sick people in, but keep the sick people out. It's crazy. I know a lot of you have gotten this thing, and I hope you're feeling better. And physically, I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I'm feeling pretty good. But those of you who were in my private community live stream last night knew that I was one pissed off puppy when that stream started, and I didn't make any bones about it. After thinking about that for a while, I said, wow, I wish I hadn't done that. But then on the other hand, why not? Why can't we just let the world know how we feel? Kind of like that guy in Network. Remember that? Remember the movie Network, where he would go to the window and open it and scream, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." I feel that way so often. The world is so aggravating. Everybody's out there trying to scam from you, steal your identity, send you emails, trick you into clicking on something where they empty your bank. We are under attack constantly. We have to buy all kinds of software and things to protect our credit and protect our debt. We are not supposed to live like this. That's the human race today. It's kind of why I'm a hermit. The only way I can even relax is to just avoid it. And yesterday it got to me, not feeling good. Morons and their comments. I unloaded. And if you're a member of the private community and you want to get a chuckle and you want to see Mitch, you want to see the side of me that people used to fear, you watch the opening of that. Because I never hesitated to let people know exactly how I feel about them if they do destructive and ridiculous things. That was part of why I succeeded in business. I got a lot of respect. And sometimes you need to be feared a little bit. Now I'm just a lovable 77, almost 78-year-old man. I come on here every morning just to spread joy and sunshine and positivity and motivation for those of us that really just want to take charge of our lives. Be happy, be among friends, chat up a storm, and that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But I didn't sleep a wink last night. Not a wink after that. I went to bed pissed off, and I woke up pissed off. And like I do in most mornings, my friends, I said, why the hell am I doing this? I know you don't want to hear this. I said, there's no money in it. Why am I going to work this entire morning to make $4? Plus a little generosity from people who buy me a few coffees. Why am I doing this? I love it. That's why, I guess. I try to justify it every day with that, and I must because I'm still here. But after the events of this week and the pressures I've been under to produce and not get paid much for all of that, I was ready to just hit the road last night. Sorry, guys. I was ready to just say, you know what? I'm tired of complaining about it to these people. They don't want to hear it. But here I am, bright-eyed and almost bushy-tailed, but I didn't sleep. So I may not be as sharp this morning, but I'm feeling better. So let's go. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Don't you dare eat chocolate, but happy Valentine's Day. Give your significant other a big smooch. I think it's absurd to have a special day to tell people that you love them when you're supposed to love them every day. I think it's just another one of these greeting card holidays. An excuse to eat more sugar and ruin our health even further because we're addicts. But people enjoy it, and it's a nice thought. So if somebody brings you chocolate, that's going to be a challenge today. It's going to be a challenge. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And like every other holiday, the real meaning of it is gone. It's just commercialized nonsense. I know that's a cynical way to look at it. I look at everything in the world these days through the eyes of a cynic, and that's so sad. That's so sad, and I hate that I do that. But happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I have personally nobody to smooch, nobody to tell that I love, and life is what it is. Life is what it is. But I got all of you guys that come visit me every morning, which is nice, Barry Simon says, eat a big heart-shaped ribeye. Yeah, I could do that. I could pour chocolate syrup on it, too. Oh, thank you. Jeff Johnson bought me 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, my friend. Why isn't it showing up here? Oh, yeah, someone. Jeff Johnson, the name you know. You sound much better today, Mitch. I'm happy for you. Yeah, I'm better. I'm better physically. I don't know if I'm better mentally. But, you know, I struggle with that every day. I mean, that's just my struggle. It's not yours. But like I say, the one thing about me is what's on my mind comes out of my mouth. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I am an emotional guy. I have feelings. My feelings can be hurt. I'm not a hard ass. And I think that's both a blessing and a curse because I'm not that much of an actor. I have a hard time putting on that happy face when I'm pissed inside. But I don't keep it inside, and that's how I manage to survive. The stress doesn't eat me alive and kill me. But I'm a little tired this morning. I've been actually, believe it or not, I've been working on ridiculously complicated computer shit since 12:45 a.m. when I did the dumbest thing. Honest to God, without a doubt, the dumbest thing I think I've done in a long time. And I'm going to blame it on brain fog from recovering from the flu. All the symptoms are pretty much gone. But the brain fog, evidently. So I'm laying in bed last night, and well, I didn't know what time it was. It's dark. I'm wide awake. I'm still laying there thinking, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Do I, have I had enough of this shit? Do I need to make a real living, or do I need to keep begging for coffees? Because that is demeaning to me, in case you don't know. Looking for what they call fan funding, because the advertising funding in what I do just surely ain't working, and the Amazon links, I make a few dollars a day on those. None of it adds up to anything meaningful anymore. It did there for a little while. And I think maybe I need to go back to what I was doing. Forget the live streams. There's no money in this. I need to get views. I was getting 30, 40, 50,000 views a day on my videos. Now I'm getting 1/10 of that. I was doing cooking videos and talking about appliances and all the neat shit you could get on Amazon, and I was making okay money with Amazon. And they were giving me bonuses because I was hitting certain levels, and it was a livable income. And I said, wow, I've got it made finally, Mitch. At 77 years old, you're finally, after all these years of no money, having had everything stolen from you, you're finally making a living, and then boom, bottom falls out. Maybe my fault. Maybe I just like the live streams. I like the community. I think it's valuable. I think I do more and affect more people in a positive way by doing these live streams. YouTube is just not set up to allow us to make any money. They don't propagate these things. The replays are always just a few stragglers who miss the live. Very rarely do I ever get up to even 1,000 views on the replays. And at $4 and something per 1,000 views of ad revenue, without the generosity of you guys, without an occasional, somebody throws me a $20 super chat and I say, wow, I got rich this morning. Instead of $4, I made $24. Whoa, excuse me, not 24 because Google took their 30%, but that's okay. And then the next day I look in my revenue, I see $4 again. And I say, why the hell am I doing this? I don't owe anybody anything. And if I'm not appreciated, I'm going to stop. And yet I don't. I don't, because I get a lot out of helping, and I enjoy you guys, and I don't want to leave you in the lurch. So it's a quandary. I don't know what to do. I struggle with it every day. I don't lie to you about it. I say, every morning I get up, I say, do I want to keep doing this shit or not? And being sick this past week and not feeling good, that really left me vulnerable to getting angry about some of the crap that YouTube and those people pull on us to keep us from, like, your video is not, doesn't meet our qualifications for advertising because you said red meat is good or some such nonsense. And I say, why do I bother? But don't worry, guys, I'm not going anywhere. I haven't made any plans to go anywhere yet. I just need to get completely better, get my mental clarity back to where it was before this thing hit me. Get excited about this stuff again. And keep asking you that if you like what I do and it's meaningful to you, let me know. Step up. If you can't afford it, don't. If you can, take some of that money you send to Ken Berry and throw it my way. That's all. I don't think I'm being unreasonable. If you think that's begging, you're in the wrong place, my friend, and so am I. Period. Jeff Johnson, thank you so much. Thank you for that. You sound much better today, Mitch. I don't know about that. I'm happy for you, says Jeff. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And just in case I haven't begged enough, I'll put the link in there. I hope you realize how much I hate to have to do that. So last night I really went off on these two people, stupid morons. And I got it back together after about 5 minutes, but the F-bombs were flying. And I'll tell you, if you're a member of the private community, it's where, and you didn't see it last night, go watch the replay. You'll love it. You'll love it. It's me, vintage pissed off, letting whatever's on my mind just come flying right out of my mouth. And then after that, I, of course, find that blowing steam actually makes you feel better, lets off the pressure, and then I got happy again. We had a good time. We had a nice panel last night. We had some ladies. We had Tina Schweikerath in here and Lori, and it was fun. Tuka was here with us. Greg Smith chimed in, and we had a nice time. The stream went for about an hour and a half, and I ended the stream and I said to myself, "Oh, Mitch, I wonder if there was any like brand new members who just fell in love with me and said, I'm going to be in this private community." And the first thing they heard was what happened last night. They probably ran for the hills, never to be seen again. That's really funny. That's really funny. Oh, well. John Bassett. I'm going to break tradition this morning, being it's Valentine's Day, and I'm not going to be saying, I'm not going to go down the chat and acknowledge everybody that was in the pre-chat and all that. And it just spends too much time. I'm just going to look for questions, but I do want to acknowledge this. Thank you so much, John. No question, but think you are awesome, and I enjoy your chats. Thank you. That means so much. Thank you, thank you. And I say to myself, it doesn't take much to earn some kind of a livable, I don't want to call it a wage, but a little livable on YouTube. I've got almost 40,000 subscribers. Each one of these videos, each one of these morning live streams ends up with a total of about 1,000 views. If only a few people, especially some of the ones that never chime in, bought me a few coffees, once a month even. But what happens is I've got a handful, a few very generous and appreciative people who are the ones that are doing this. And they're helping support my efforts, but it's not fair. And I almost feel guilty when I see the same people. And I say, come on, somebody else for a change. If you like what I do, help out. That's what this is. And I have to make some changes. I'm not going to change the morning coffee thing, but I have to make changes in my life. I wanted to talk about that a little bit this morning. Because not only do I have the pressure of YouTube, but I can't make a living on YouTube, and I have Social Security, and I've told all of you the sad story of my life. I've told you all the sad story of how I had pretty much everything that I worked for and my retirement stolen out from under me. How the world, and I don't want to complain about it. It is what it is. Not everybody has a beautiful rose-laden path ride through life. Most of life is obstacles, things you don't expect. And the mean and miserable thieving whores that you run into along the way, who you put your faith and trust in. I had more than my share of them, because I'm a nice guy. And I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Lady June says, did you read this morning's emails yet? Are you talking about my emails on my Gmail account? And the answer is no. I have been busy since, and I was going to tell you the story about what happened to me last night, but I have been working, trying to catch up on some of this last minute emergency stuff that my daughter threw at me all night long. And I'm still not done with it from yesterday, which is one of the reasons I was in that mood that I was in yesterday on the live stream. But let me check real quick. It says here, Wendy Smith bought a coffee. Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate that. That came in my Gmail. And let's see what else came in my Gmail. Jeff Johnson bought me 3 coffees. Thank you. That is the only emails that I have from this morning in my Gmail account. So I don't know what you're talking about, Lady June. Did you read this morning's emails yet? Mitch, your health and mental well-being is most important. Thank you, Jemmett. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And there are times when I think I'm losing it, and I'm too smart to lose it. Problem is I'm too emotional, and I lose it. You are what you are. I can't become a hard person and not let shit bother me when shit bothers me. That's the opposite of being a sociopath. A sociopath is somebody that isn't bothered by anything. They could steal somebody's life, kill their children, and just go on about their day. No conscience. I, on the other hand, somehow have been blessed with a ridiculous conscience. Maybe it's a Jewish thing, the guilt thing. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it is what it is. I have to live with it. It keeps me from screwing people over, but it doesn't keep me from being screwed over by those with no conscience. Lady June, I still don't know what you mean by did I read this morning's emails yet. I got the window open over there. I'll keep an eye on it. When I got up last night, I went to bed. I was pissed. The live stream ended. I was tired. I'm recovering from this cold, but I haven't recovered fully yet from the flu. It's a rough one. My plumber got it. He's been in bed for a week now, which is something else I was unhappy about because why the hell can't I ever get a job done? Why the hell is it every job I try to get done on my house, they get started and they never finish? That's the story of trying to get people to finish the work they start, especially if you're a nice guy like me and give them money a little bit when they need it. Well, that's another problem I have. I feel sorry for people. And they always turn around and screw you. Once they can't get any more money, once you finally say, listen, I've been giving you money every day, finish the job already. Well, now this guy, and he's a great guy, and he's done a great job, and the plumbing work is great, and everything is great. And all I need to have done yet is to have the house buttoned up in the bottom to get insulation in there, get vapor barriers so that mold doesn't form, and everything is great. And he started doing that over a week ago, and all of a sudden, he left his helper here, and he had an emergency, much more important than my job, obviously, and off he went. Next thing I hear, he's got the flu, and that was a week ago. So I texted him this morning, when are you going to finish the job? He texted me back, I'm really sorry, I haven't been able to get out of bed all week. I said, I understand I got the flu too. When are you going to be here? He says, I'll be there Sunday. My first thought was, I'll believe that when I see it. But this guy's been pretty good, pretty honorable to me. I'm not worried about him abandoning me, but I would sure like to get this shit done. Why does everything have to be such an effort with all this drama? You hire a tradesman to do a job. Just do the job. Take the money. Thank you. Next case. The world is nuts these days. Try to get something accomplished. I don't care. I don't know. Medical community. The medical community. Get sick. See if you can get taken care of. You get shuffled around from this lab to that lab, to this specialist, to that specialist, to the pharmacy. Once you get in the system, man, they just throw you around. I don't like this world we're living in. It's not the world that I came up in. Oh, we had our problems, but I do not like the direction everything is going in, except maybe there's some encouragement in politics right now, but dare I offend somebody by saying that it is encouraging, but so far I haven't seen many major changes that are going to affect me personally in my little old retired life. My Social Security is still taxable by the IRS. Thank you very much. The IRS has not gone anywhere yet. I see no movement towards rescinding taxing old people's Social Security if they make a little bit of money extra. And it's time for me to do my taxes. And I guarantee you, any little bit of money I managed to save from last year, the government's going to grab. And I'll be left with nothing again. How can I be happy living a life like this? It's crazy. It's crazy. So all this stuff's on my mind, and I'm trying to be happy. And you guys are sitting here listening to me rant. And I appreciate that, because other than you guys and my kids, I don't have anybody to talk to. Terry Sue says, Mitch is too hilarious. Thank you, Terry Sue. I try. Because no matter how bad I think things are, I still try to retain my sense of humor, and I still try to be entertaining. Why else would you listen to some old fart? Lady June, did you read this morning's emails yet? No, I saw that on the other chat. No, did not. I don't know what you're talking about. There are no emails to me. Did you send me an email? I did get a PayPal surprise on Valentine's Day this morning, 20-something bucks. Somebody, and I'm not going to say who it was. The last time I told somebody that I got a PayPal from them, I got chastised. I got ranked out. I did that to be anonymous. How dare you say my name on a live stream? I will never do that again. To which I said, don't let the screen door hit you in the ass on the way out. And I refunded the money. And I'm done with that person. Please don't do that. And if you want to help me anonymously, make sure you spell it out. Because my first inclination is to always thank people for being kind. And if you think that anybody out there knows who the hell you are anyway, and you think your privacy and anonymity has been renewed, yes, I appreciate the kind wishes, but do not put me in that position. So, yes. Okay. Yes, now I understand. Lady June, that was you. Obviously, if you posted this, then I have your permission to thank you. I didn't know it was you. So I will thank you. I'm a little gun shy after the last time that happened, so thank you very, very much for that. That was so kind of you, and it was a very nice surprise. Very, very nice surprise this morning. But I didn't get an email, that's where I was confused, saying that I did get a notification from PayPal, but not an email. So thank you. And I'm glad we figured that out. Excuse me. We're not quite done with the nose-blowing part of our show yet. I still have to keep that in the script. Wow, look at this. We have been going for a half an hour, and I have accomplished nothing. Well, maybe I have. I feel a lot better. Got a lot off my chest this morning. I was going to tell you the story about what happened to me in the middle of the night. So at any rate, I go to bed, and I wake up. Not unusual for you to wake up when you go to bed. It's still dark outside, but it's usually dark outside when I get up. I glance over at the clock, and if you look at my cell phone, this is my nightstand clock, see? and it's sitting in the charger on my nightstand. And when I can yell, and she'll tell me if I say, what time is it? She'll say, it's 10 a.m. But I didn't. I just got, and I can see well enough without my glasses to read this clock at night. And it's dark because it fades way down, but I can still see it. And I looked at the hands. And for some reason, I got the impression that it was like sometime after 5:30 in the morning. Or about maybe 5 after 6 or something like that. Anyway, one hand was somewhere around the 12 and 1, and the other was somewhere around the 5, 6, or 7. And I looked and I said, holy cow, I slept through the night. It's 5:30 or whatever. And I yelled, good morning, and I can do that, and lights come on, and I get a little blurb of the weather, and I start getting the news over my little Google thing and headlines from Fox News. I jump out of bed, and I get dressed, and I make my bed, and I'm on my way out to the kitchen to make my cup of decaf. And on the way into the kitchen, I glance at the clock on the stove. And it's like 20 after midnight. You ever done that? You ever done that? I misread the two. I in my less than clearest vision with my glasses on, I transposed the hands on the clock and somehow thought that slightly after midnight was really slightly around 6 a.m. And there I am, standing in my kitchen, fully dressed, bed made, middle of the friggin' night. I've been up ever since. I hate that. I hate nothing more than to be awake all night long. Talk about time dragging. But I made it to this morning. I made it. And I did manage to get some computer work done, actually, overnight. So it wasn't a total loss. It was there's an old expression that old Jewish men used to say. So it shouldn't be a total loss. And so it shouldn't be a total loss. I got some work done. And maybe that's why I'm in a strange mood. So to anybody that kind of got worried about me after my live stream last night, I'll always defer to Rodney Dangerfield. I was in rough shape yesterday, but I'm okay now. I'm okay this morning. I need to make some changes in my life. I need to make sure that I'm not required to be on call like an emergency room physician 24/7, required to drop everything I'm doing at a minute's notice because of the whims of some stupid little girls that work at a big utility company that is the customer of my daughter. And because I love my daughter and care, I will jump to get shit done when no reasonable person, not for the kind of money they're paying me. So I had a long talk with my daughter this morning, and I said, cannot happen again. I cannot be getting emails. Urgent, requires your immediate attention, because I can't live that way. You're not paying me enough. You want to put me on $100,000 a year retainer? I'm yours. I'll just quit everything else and just sit around and wait and be there when you need it. But if I don't know anybody that would make themselves available, no lawyer, no doctor, nobody, not even anybody in your business that would make themselves available for peanuts, and turn over their entire life for nothing other than me. And that's what I've been doing for my daughter because I love her. So with that pressure and the pressure of dwindling and dwindling revenues on YouTube, I was not a happy puppy after yesterday. Still not feeling 100% with the flu. I don't want to make excuses, but sometimes, and every one of you know this, without exception, sometimes life just overwhelms you and you say, enough. And you go to that window and you throw it open and you scream to the world, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And that was where I was. And that was why I didn't sleep last night. And yet here I am. Here I am. We need some happy music. Yes, we do. Okay. I wish I had a cigar in here, but I don't. And I haven't smoked a cigar in a few days, but I am going to smoke one today. Yes. So let me catch up with a little bit. I have not been keeping up with the comments. Thank you, Lady June, for that. Very much appreciated. I did see Lucas Hapner bought me a coffee. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Eat more meat was the message. If I eat any more meat, I will turn into a cow. As you can hear, the cough is still clearing. But one thing has changed. It gets a little better. I get phlegm up easier. When I first started to break up, you get a burning pain in the center of your chest. That's gone. I'm not taking any medication, no over-the-counter medication, none of that stuff. I have battled this off with just my immune system. No pharmaceuticals, no Z-Packs, no antibiotics. None of the drill that they would have put me through if I had gone to the doctor. And I got over it faster than everybody else who went and got that so-called medical treatment. And that's got to say something for this lifestyle. And that's all I can do. I started this channel because I wanted to lead by example. And I keep trying to do that. So I texted Kelsey a little bit last night, and I told him about my flu thing, and I said, I guess we're not immortal. And he texted me back and said, no, we're not immortal. So that's good to see that somebody else believes that, no, this doesn't keep you from getting things. But I think that whatever we do, we will fare better. I don't think when we get healthy, we'll end up in the hospital with a ventilator and dying. Like, how many people die every year from the flu? 50,000, 100,000. Ton of people die. I remember during COVID, they were talking about the fact that, 60,000 people the year before had died from the flu. Influenza. People aren't healthy. They can't fight this off. They can't fight this stuff off. Well, I have more nose blowing going on than I expected today. I'm glad you accept all of that added entertainment from me. Bama J says no, it's not Bama J. Who is that? B-I-A-N-X, Bianx. Sending you good vibes, Mitch. Get well soon. I am getting well. Yes, I'm getting well. And I talked to my daughter this morning, and she said she's taking a day off. There's a girl who knows how to relax. I said, thank you very much. So am I. So I think I'm going to have a nice relaxing day today. We'll see. We will see. I'll try to de-stress. Take this weekend and completely recover. Zen out a little bit. I need it. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. I may even make a video today in the kitchen or out walking or something like that. I need to start doing more and more of that. I need to start bumping up my Amazon stuff because that's such a great way for people to help me out without actually having to donate anything. Just shop through my link. I know everybody forgets. I don't blame you. But that's why I need to keep reminding you. Oh, God, why am I flubbing up, nose running right now? Whatever is in there is breaking up and it wants to come out. That's why the cooking videos work so good. So I'm going to start doing more of those cooking videos. And showing off the gadgets again, because most of you haven't seen most of those things. Excuse me. Okay. Thought I'd spare you that coughing fit. Yeah, I do those cooking videos. Everybody seems to enjoy it. I talk about things and subjects, sometimes even biochemistry, physiology, psychology of carnivore, why we're doing this, and I cook, and I talk about my Amazon stuff, and I show off these different gadgets that I use and how easy they make my life. And that's useful stuff. I know that because I was doing great with that stuff. And those videos would get, if you look back at my videos, you see some videos with hundreds of thousands of views. They were the cooking videos, and people found the Amazon links. I need to get back to that so I can start making money without having to beg for it. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do more walk and talks because, quite frankly, I need to get more exercise. And I have to do that. In order to do that, I have to make sure that I'm free. My schedule is free and can't be interrupted every 5 minutes like it is with this computer work I do. So I need to make arrangements and some changes to make sure that I'm not under too much pressure. That's all. I can fix this. Claudia Burkick bought me 3 coffees. Claudia, what a sweetheart. Thank you. Thanks so much for all you do, she says. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know that I've got great friends out there. And you come visit with me every morning. You listen to me bitch and moan, complain. I like to think that maybe I'm mirroring some of your own dissatisfaction with the world and humanity in general. And it validates some of your discontent with the way things are. The one thing I am getting a little bit of positivity from is the political change in the political spectrum, but it is still so disgusting how these people will not give up the corruption, the power, and the money that they've been stealing from us. And I'm wondering, I was thinking a little earlier today, we got to do our taxes here we got to pay in a couple months. I don't want to do that. And after watching all of the thieving, stealing, corrupt pieces of human garbage that have been stealing the money that this old fart has been putting up to pay my taxes, and watching where it's going, and to know that I can go to bed proud tonight knowing that my entire tax contribution didn't completely fund, but at least helped fund that transgender musical in Uganda. And be so happy that I've done so much good with money that I might have used to buy ribeyes and be healthy. But no, I almost can't afford ribeyes anymore because my government needs my money to funnel to some corrupt piece of shit, taking kickbacks, funneling money under the guise of a transgender DEI musical. $50 million, $100 million, however much it was, in Uganda or someplace like that. And I say to myself, what would happen if I just didn't pay? Well, they'd come after me. Could I fight it? Could I throw all this back in their face? You want me to pay what? After you just discovered what they've been doing with it my entire life? And a lifetime where I paid millions in income tax. Millions in income tax. More income tax than most people have ever paid in their life. And Social Security for all my employees that I had. I paid millions. It wasn't even for me. It was for every one of my employees. And Medicare. And workers' comp. And all that other stuff. Fortunes I paid to the government, and now I find out what you were doing with it. And now that I'm old and struggling just to get by and eating more ground beef and fewer ribeyes because this world is just not set up to let me make any money, and you're not set up to let me keep what I make. Tax my Social Security, for God's sakes. What would happen if I said, no, I'm on strike, I'm not paying? And I almost have a mind to do that. But if you're listening, IRS, don't worry. We'll work something out. But I'm hoping that in the political climate that is, maybe they will do away with some of these stupid confiscatory taxes that keep us from actually having a decent life to support the corruption. And if that doesn't piss you off, you're not human. You're not human. Wow. I seem to find one soapbox after another this morning, don't I? This is what happens when I'm up all night and have nothing but time to think about shit that pisses me off. So let's talk about what's good. Let's talk about what's good going on in the world. Let me actually try to find some questions. Maybe I can answer some questions. I did thank John Bassett for the super chat. Thank you so much, John. Always appreciate any help. You know that. You know that. And I'm here today. I will be here tomorrow, and I'll be here on Sunday. And I have no plans on changing any of this because I still mean that these morning live streams are the highlight of my day every day. And the thought of just giving them up doesn't sit right. Doesn't sit right. I can't go way back in the chat to the beginning, and there probably are some questions that I missed, and just ask them tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be feeling better and I'll be over all this stuff. There we go. Mark C. says, Mitch, tell us about your red hat on Valentine's Day. Romeo? Yes, it says. I wore that specifically today. Romeo, it says. And underneath it, it says Romeo y Julieta. And that's a cigar. And this is, believe it or not, a cigar hat. But it's the closest that I had to anything romantic. So I wore it today. Romeo and Juliet is an old Cuban name. It's an old Cuban seed cigar that's made in the Dominican Republic now. And they make great cigars. But I got this hat somewhere in my travels. I like it. And I thought it was very clever. They came up with this new logo, Ro, and a big me, and a little O underneath. Happy Valentine's Day. It's as close as I could come. Gemmet says, Mitch, what got you going last night? Well, I wasn't in a great mood anyway. I've been under tremendous pressure all day. My daughter kept feeding me in one emergency after another because some demanding little girl that works for a water company that she's got this big contract with kept demanding things from her. And then she, of course, would throw it onto me as an emergency, urgent, need to be done right now. And I'm trying to just get my normal work done and constant interruptions. I'm trying to get ready for my private community live stream, and an hour before then I get an urgent email. This needs to be posted tonight on the water company's website. And it's 3 hours of work. And the way that they presented it to me was so confusing, it would have taken me 3 hours to figure out what the hell they were talking about first, because they don't. They just send you a bunch of shit and say, figure it out. You have no idea what they mean. So, I mean, I was just fit to be tied trying to get that live stream started last night. And I'm all set. I got everything set. I'm sitting in the studio, and I say, well, let me take this minute to respond to some of the users' comments. And I got 2 comments. The first one said, I'm 73 and healthy, but you look like you're on your deathbed. You look like a 85-year-old man. That was the first comment. The second comment says, I have an ad blocker on my browser, so I never have to watch YouTube ads. And so you're not getting any money from me because I don't watch the ads. Both of those things, one after another, just set me off. Set me off. And when the stream started, I went into a tirade of middle fingers, F-bombs, and just took it all out on these 2 morons and their comments. It had been building in me all day, dealing with idiots, having idiots make demands of me and my time. I can't fight it because my daughter's reputation relies on it. So I'm in a real spot. I can't tell these people what to do because they're my daughter's customer. I love my daughter. I have to always bite the bullet and just do it. I couldn't do it yesterday. I'm not over the flu yet. My mind is just not as sharp as it usually is. I got frustrated and was ready to just overturn my desk. I mean, seriously, sometimes you just get fed up. I was ready to just trash everything, get in my car and start driving and not give a damn about anything. That was how I felt last night. And 7 o'clock, the live stream starts, and here's Mitch, just wanting to murder the first human being that comes into sight. And I went off. So, yeah, I'm sorry. We all have those moments. They're called nervous breakdowns. And I think I was closer to a nervous breakdown last night than I have been since the Hewlett-Packard Corporation stole my life from me 20 years ago. It was a great day yesterday. Not the day to be sick. So that's what happened. That's what happened, Gemmet. No excuses. I'm human. I'm human. I don't want to be anything other than human. I don't want to be a machine. I don't want to be a sociopath. Dawn bought me a coffee. Thank you, Dawn. Don't worry, be happy. Happy Valentine's Day. We love you, Mitch. I love you guys, too. I'm okay. I'm not unstable. I'm a human being. We all have those moments, and it's just built up to a crescendo yesterday. But it didn't take me long to get over it, and I do get over it. That's the beauty. I don't stay angry. I'll lose my temper, blow up, get it out of my system, and be done with it. And the fact that you guys accept that from me really just makes me happy. And it helps me get over it. And I won't apologize for that. I can't. Otherwise, I'd be one of these, just another one of these droll egomaniac doctors on YouTube spewing bad advice. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to do. I love this community. I love it. I love that there's 158 people here right now. It's not the biggest audience, but it certainly is a big audience compared to most. And that's great. And it's steady. And you guys, I count on you. So I hope I don't disappoint you sometimes. But just rest assured, I get over it. I get over it. I may even smoke a cigar today. I think I'm probably okay. I just need to relax. I need to relax. My daughter's got the right idea. She said, I may even take a movie in. My daughter likes to go to the movies by herself. Whatever, to escape. And I think I'm going to try to. I got one little job I need to get done. And I'll do that. And maybe make a video. Maybe if spirit moves me, do a little kitchen video and push my Amazon links a little harder. And I have to do that. Otherwise, why bother? Why spend so much time and energy and money? God, the money it costs to do this. You don't realize it. I just put out hundreds of dollars to renew my StreamYard application. And the Adobe software shit, $60 a month. My internet's at, $90 a month. Everything that I need that I have to pay for every month is to do this YouTube shit. And then I look at my revenue and how much you make yesterday, Mitch? I don't know, $4.26. It's maddening. It's not your fault. It's the way it's all structured. And it was my stupid fault to pick another genre that the world thinks is harmful. Holy cow, I had a cigar company and they put me out of business because they put the FDA in charge and treated cigars like drugs. So bye-bye cigar business. Then I went in the drone business. Next thing you know, drones are public enemy number one, and we got to regulate them and license them, and we got to, and that ruined that. Then I say, well, surely they can't find me doing something wrong because I'm recommending a healthy lifestyle to people. Well, evidently, it's not a healthy lifestyle according to the experts. It's deadly. It's deadly red meat. But wait, our species has been eating like this for millions of years. Doesn't matter. When Ansel Keys came up with his shit, meat became deadly. Give me a break. Nobody thinks logically anymore. They just accept the crap that's handed down to them. And they especially accept it if it's profitable enough to make them money. And that's why we have this terrible situation we have today. And that's why these flu epidemics can catch on like this. Because people are sick and fat, unhealthy blobs out there breeding this stuff and spreading it around. Makes you want to just stay home and tell people stay away, quarantine. Not for the reasons of protecting them, but for the reasons of protecting you. And that's worked for me until now. I don't know if I caught this flu over at the I don't know if I caught it at the meetup last weekend or I picked it up from my plumber. Who knows? All I know is that there have been people in my sphere over the past week and a half or two that aren't usually in my sphere, and it could have been any one of them. They're all breathing. I've been in the same room with them. Tanya, Kitchen Witch. Yes, you're so kind. Let me see. Dawn bought me a coffee. I think I thanked you, Dawn. And wow, look at this. People are just chiming up today. Thank you, guys. It's very validating to me. Jane bought me 2 coffees. Thank you, Jane. Says, good morning, Mitch. Love hearing your common sense during morning coffee with you every day. I love the example you set for exactly what you eat and how it keeps your carb addiction away. It's working for me, and I love it. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. And anybody, I will, as always, personally respond and thank everybody for these coffees, but I wanted to acknowledge it. Matt, holy cow, Matt Goulage from, Morro Bay, California. Bought me 5 coffees. Thank you so much, sis. Thanks for all you do. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And no name here, but someone bought me a coffee. He says, cheers, coffee break. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Whoever you are. And let me find this super chat from Tanya here. Always very kind and always very generous. And I almost sometimes feel guilty taking it from you, Tanya. You're overly generous and supportive of this channel. Tanya Kitchen Witch says, what's good? You are, love. Thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. It is people like you and so many others that actually make this so worthwhile. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Josephine C. A super sticker. Thank you, Josephine. Thank you so much. Aunt B says, I hope they will do away with taxes on home ownership. We are supposed to own our homes. No? Oh, yeah, real estate taxes. What another scam. And God, did we ever in this country did we ever escape absolute tyranny and the end of America as we know it had this election gone the other way? And we would now be putting up with the Democrats. Sorry, Democrats. If you haven't changed sides yet, open your eyes. We would not be a country anymore. Our taxes, our income taxes would be doubling. We would not be allowed to own or keep anything. The corruption would triple. It would have been, and still, almost half of the Americans voted for them. I mean, we like to talk about it was a mandate, and it was, what was the difference, 2%? That's scary. Look at the Congress. It's scary. Look at the confirmation hearings. They hang on one vote. These people have not gone away. Look at the activist judges out there that are trying to throw monkey wrenches in the works of any progress that we voted for. We got a long way to go, but we're at least turning the ship around a little bit. So I'm with you. I hope, maybe it's too much to hope for, but I hope that we will see some real progress. And I was happy to see RFK get in. Now, if we could just get RFK to do what made me really become a supporter of his. And it's not red dye number 3. I'm sorry, Robert. I don't give a shit about red dye number 3. Number 1, I don't eat anything in which you'd find red dye number 3. That would be processed, highly processed foods, like breakfast cereals and things that need to be dyed red. The only red I eat is red meat. There's no red dye number 3 in red meat. What do I care about red dye number 3? The message should be, stop eating the processed junk. And all of those poisonous things will go away and we don't need to spend all this time and energy and legislation outlawing them one by one. Outlaw them all. Secondly, start doing what you promised. Root out the corrupt heads of the FDA and the USDA. Get rid of them. Fire them. Replace them with people who understand that human beings are supposed to eat meat. Stop demonizing meat. Stop extolling the virtues of the color of the rainbow and vegetables. Simple concepts and changes that might actually have the ability to fix something, that aren't just for show, which is what government always does. Whatever they do is to make them look good. Rousing political speeches make my nose run. Evidently. Oh, wow. Denise Kink, thank you so much. Bought me 3 coffees. Happy Valentine's Day, Mitch. Thank you so much, sweetie. Very, very kind of you. Thank everybody for their generosity this morning. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I am going to have to make some changes, and I am going to have to start doing more long-form videos. I've done away with my other 2 live streams, the Tuesday and the Saturday. There's no need for all those live streams since I'm on here every morning. That's enough. The private community, if I haven't scared you all away the other night, we're going to continue to do on Thursday night. And if you think there'd be a time or a day that's better than Thursday night, it doesn't matter at all to me. I can do that. I need to have my days free if I'm going to make videos, because that's a very time-consuming process. I mean, Hollywood takes years to make a film. Mitch makes a film filming my breakfast and having it out almost as fast as I'm eating that breakfast. So I've got it down to a science, but still it is time consuming. There's a lot of editing. I try to minimize the editing. Depends on which camera. Gary says, Mitch, have you considered dealing guns? No. I don't want to be a gun dealer, but I am a gun collector. And right away, Dixie Scott says, right, everybody wants me to be a gun dealer. No, I love firearms. I love to shoot, always have. Always been a Second Amendment guy. Terry Sue says, I'm liking the petite pre-cooked bacon from Costco. I haven't seen that. You know, I don't spend enough time at Costco. I hate the crowds. I just hate the crowds. That's why I love to go to Sam's first thing in the morning. And ironically, since I moved this live stream to 9:30 to allow myself to go to, I've never made it because of being sick and this and that, or being out of town, or meetups or whatever. So hopefully I will get to Sam's Club one of these days. I don't know why I've inspired you to talk about guns in this live stream, but seems to be the subject of what's going by right now. I'm looking for some questions. I know I'm not answering any rabbit hole carnivore biology questions today. Sometimes we just have to visit. We all know the rules. Eat meat. Eat meat, keep it simple. That's where Kiltsy and I agree so much. It's crazy. He's the only other guy out there that doesn't want to overcomplicate it. Doesn't want to. It's just basically it's so simple. Eat the meat. Move around a little. What else can you say? What else can you say? Oh, Itasca Patriot, thanks for letting me know. That's someone that bought a coffee was me, Mitch. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. You know, I when I don't see a name, I don't try to figure out who it is because I think that it was probably done anonymously. But if you throw a chat in there, yeah, I love to acknowledge people's kindness. It's very nice. Laurie says it really is that simple. Eat meat, move a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we need to almost live a caveman's existence. And the good news is we don't have to grab a spear and go chase down these big hairy animals. We've got Sam's Club, Costco, Publix. There's no shortage of food. Might be a little expensive. And we're going to have to give it time. We're going to have to give it time. Everybody's impatient, including me. You know, how long has Trump been president? 3 weeks? The 20th of January to the 14th. 4 weeks? 3.5 weeks. Not a month yet. And yet we seem to expect that everything is going to be turned around. I think they're performing miracles. I think that there needs to be some serious legislation done about the power that these certain federal judges have to thwart and bring to a screeching halt the plans and programs from the executive branch. I understand the need for checks and balances. But there is no place for political corruption, bought and paid for judges in that checks and balances. Doesn't belong. How do you fix it? I don't know. You still have all those corrupt people in Congress to deal with. And half of them are still corrupt. They are. I mean, I'm sorry. Every Democrat in Congress, except maybe John Fetterman, who's more of a Republican than some of these Republican rhinos, every Democrat in Congress is corrupt, bought and paid for. Nothing they believe in makes any sense, yet they still will go down with the ship. They just will not accept common sense or reality. You guys you're still, come on, guys. Stop talking about guns. Or what you would do to other people if you had guns. That's just not a safe thing to be talking about, and we'll get my complete live stream demonetized. So be careful, will you? Thank you. Kim Appreciates Life says, does Kiltsy eat bacon? Well, let me tell you, there was a slew of bacon at his house that day, and I'm sure he does. How can you not eat bacon? Meat candy. It's good for you. He had some of the best bacon I've ever tasted. I don't know where he got it. I know that I probably couldn't get it where he got it, so. See, I made a comment about Fetterman, and I get challenged on it. Dixie Scott says, Fetterman isn't as right as you think. He'll make sense sometimes, but always votes with his party. Of course, they always vote together. I've always envied that about Democrats. I wished Republicans had that kind of unity. But no. They each one of them wants to be a hero. How much destruction has happened to any plans we have by the egos of these people. Term limits, my friends, I really, really think they ought to be limited to 2 terms in Congress. Period. End of story. Go home. That's how it was envisioned in the first place. No dynasties. No Joe Bidens. No making a lifetime of stealing from the public for 50, 60, 70 years. Because somehow you managed to fool people in your district. No more AOCs. 2 terms. Back to the Middle East, sweetheart. See ya. I know that's a little politically incorrect, but it's absurd that we have revolutionaries in our own Congress that want to destroy our country. How does that happen? How does that happen? I know exactly how it happened. And it wasn't an accident either. And I think maybe we finally put a stop to it, but we'll see. Robbie Autry says, yes, they go in poor and come out rich. How the hell is that woman worth $20, $30, $40 million on $100,000 a year salary when she does nothing except make TikTok videos? It's crazy. It's crazy. Man, we are getting political now. Terry Sue says, I wonder how many transgender carnivores there are. Well, yeah, I agree, Terry Sue. It's I don't care what people do. Just don't involve me in it and don't force it on my children. That's all. It's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, William McCartney, how you doing? And you know, and this is what kills me. They pay these people tremendous sums of money. Not only the money, but they give them money for their staff. They give them benefits. They give them retirements. They pay them for life. Huge money. And I work for $5 coffees and do more good than any of them. It ain't fair, my friends. It's not fair. It's not fair. I want to call foul on it. Oh, God, pestilence. Out. Out. Go away. I've had it. And I've been lucky. I mean, I got over this fairly quickly. Some people have this hang on for a month or more. Wow. I can't imagine this like long COVID stuff where you're never the same. Because these things can wreck you for life if you're not careful. Oh, I hear my phone going off. I've become paranoid lately that maybe somebody actually needs something. So who needs something from me? DJI wants me to buy another drone. Go to hell. I've got enough of your drones. And I see a couple of coffees, Denise Kink and Wendy Smith. I thanked you guys already, so good. Good. I am hoping for a no-stress day in which I maybe can actually make a video and put it out there. Or not. But if I do, my friends, it'll be out this afternoon. Or not. I have decided that it's Valentine's Day. I'm going to be my own Valentine and just treat myself to a stress-free day. And I would hope that all of you do the same. This has been a completely and thoroughly unstructured, old fart rambling, almost 1.5 hour live stream, and I can't believe you're all still hanging in here with me. Either we all have no life, or somehow I'm managing to entertain you. If that's happening, believe me, it was not planned this morning. And I thank you for all the support and the Valentine wishes today. Politicians are worse than the mafia. They're always on the take. Yeah, they are worse than the mafia. Yeah, there are just some people that are sociopaths and thieves and whores, and politics is a aspiration for people like that. Always ways to bribe somebody, screw somebody, be on the take, get paid off, sell your influence. And people get away with it. One of these days, I think maybe the truth will actually come out about what Biden really did during his 60 years or so of being on the government dole. I mean, he's come right out and told us how crooked he was. That video is easy to find of him standing on the stage bragging about how he extorted Ukraine to drop the charges against his son by threatening to, by getting the prosecutor fired. He came right out and said it. He told us. He bragged about it. Remember? And yet nobody said, wow, this guy's a crook. It's not important enough for most people. Not nearly as important as the Super Bowl or who wins American Idol or any of the other trivial shit that people focus on while they ruin our lives with the things that really matter. Our security, our money, our food supply. Important things are not romantic enough, nor do they have the drama necessary to catch the interest of the average American. I still think it's almost a miracle that we pulled off what we did politically. Let's see just how they screw it up, how many monkey wrenches they throw in the works, how they use every dirty trick to thwart anything that might do some good so they can maintain their enormous incomes through the corrupt flow of money from what seems to be the food and pharma industry. There needs to be major changes. How can you do that? We'll see. We will see. William McCartney says, did you ever see the Robin Williams piece on Joe Biden? It's golden. No, but I'm going to look that up. I used to love Robin Williams, man. And he was a liberal guy. He was a liberal guy. He played some strange characters. Remember Birdcage? Played this gay man in South Beach, Florida. They were great roles. But he was a brilliant comedian. But he was a lefty. He was certainly a liberal. He wasn't a conservative, that's for sure. Nice to hear that he made fun of Biden. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I'll tell you, the biggest disappointment to me in Hollywood, biggest disappointment, is Robert De Niro. I used to admire the guy. I used to love his acting. Turns out to be the biggest piece of crap that ever walked the face of the earth. Delusional. Lost his mind. Sometimes maybe too much money just makes you lose any sense of reality. Yeah, Pat Ramirez says, amazes me how arrogant they are when they know they've been caught with their hands in a cookie jar. Yeah. Yeah, but they still deny it. They still deny it. Don't believe your lying eyes. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, listen, my friends, I've rambled on long enough. And you guys have been great this morning for putting up with me. It's great therapy for me. And I appreciate it. And I promise you that by tomorrow morning, we'll be back to normal. I'll be here. I'll start the show. Well rested. Going to get some sleep tonight. I may nap half the day away too, and I never do that, but I still can't believe that I thought it was morning right after midnight and been up ever since. I'll be here tomorrow morning. And we'll do the usual. I'll run through the whole chat. I'll be looking for questions. I'll acknowledge everybody if I can. We'll talk about things that come up. Try not to offend the YouTube gods so they don't deem this unmonetizable, and try to steal the $4 or $5 in ad revenue that I generally make on one of these live streams, although I'm got to the point where that makes very little difference to me. Your support makes all the difference to me. And speaking of that, Tanya Kitchen Witch bought me a coffee and says, tell Diane I said to take the day off. Thank you, Tanya. I don't think she needs to hear that. I think she's already decided to do that. She's burnt to a crisp as well, and that bothers me. That bothers me. When I see the pressure they put my poor daughter, who does the best she can for everybody, and then they steal from her. I can't even get into that story. It's so aggravating, but she's working for some women in those organizations that are controlling all this public relations effort for this new pipeline project that are criminals and wouldn't hesitate to screw over or sabotage anybody that works underneath them to take some of what those people were getting away and redirecting it towards themselves. And that just happened to my daughter. And she had a very lucrative contract, which is supposed to go for 5 years. They took half of it away from her and gave it to the woman that was supposed to be feeding her the information to do the public relations. Only this woman kept feeding her stuff and documents. And then I would use those documents to create collateral. And then she would find fault with the collateral and errors and call out my daughter as being responsible when the errors were from her. And we've been dealing with this for months now. And then she finally, it was like a coup, finally got people above. It's crazy. It's just corruption everywhere. Corruption, mean-spirited thieving whores of people who don't deserve to live among us in society, let alone be in charge of things that so heavily affect other people's lives. They need to all go to hell and stay there. And we've been living under this kind of pressure. In the past, my move is always to just say, go to hell. Go F yourself. I'm done with you. I don't ever want to hear from you again. Find somebody else to do this work. I would rather make no money than put up with people using me and stealing and then blaming me for making a mistake that was caused by them. It is rampant in the business world, in the government world. It's rampant everywhere. People are evil, scheming, nasty people, except for the 150 people that are here every morning. We must have a monopoly on good and kind and decent people here on this channel. Because when I look almost everywhere outside of this, all I see is corruption and misery. So thank you for coming, my friends. I'm going to close on that note. Thank you, Tanya, for that coffee. I really appreciate it. You guys have been great this morning. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks so much. I know there were many questions I didn't get to. Honestly, I wasn't in the mood today to answer medical type carnivore questions, but I will tomorrow. So save them up again. I think it's time to change the mood back to happy. Finish your coffee. Yes, everybody's dancing. Lat says, let's dance. Claudia Burkick, thank you all. Have a great day. Thomas, Target Prime Rib, says, bye. Lat says, let's dance. Josephine C is singing, yes. You got to move to this music. This music is great. Mike Seeley Sr., man. Thanks for hanging in there with us, Aunt B. Dixie Scott says, you are so right, Mitch. Tanya says, Dad just wants to protect his daughter. Yes. It's the most important thing in the world. If your kids aren't the most important thing in the world to you, something is structurally went wrong there. That's a shame. Tosca Patriot warned me that I better be careful or I'll get a defamation of character. Let him sue me. I'll sue him right back. I'm the master of the countersuit. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Nobody's going to sue me. I got nothing for them to take. It's an old adage. This is reality, folks. We're living in a real world. This bullshit about I'm going to sue you. Yeah, try, will you? You ever sued anybody? I've sued people. Nothing. I've been sued. Nothing. Nobody. There's an old adage. There's an old saying among lawyers, and it's so true. And that is, think about this. Where there's no food, there's no sharks. Think about that. Where there's no food, there's no sharks. Why would somebody sue a broke old man living in a trailer? And spend a fortune doing it, because lawyers aren't going to sue me on a contingency. There's no insurance company for a big settlement. They're going to bill that person hundreds of dollars an hour for their time and run up a bill of $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 to sue Mitch for defamation of character, something almost impossible to prove, and even more impossible to prove damages. I've been through the courts, my friends. I am as much of a lawyer as most lawyers, as I am as much of a doctor as most doctors. It's reality. It's not going to happen. So, my friends, thank you for coming. Thanks for coming. It was an interesting day. Been at it for an hour and a half. We will be back tomorrow. Maybe there'll be a video today. Probably not. I need a day off. I need to relax. Go puff on a cigar. So until tomorrow, my friends. Till tomorrow. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the support. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat.